I voted for this man 3 times. I campaigned for him. I worked my ass off, and I feel like I do not recognize him at all. This is sickening, which is absurd. I mean, he didn't even give you a Party City mask. He didn't even give you like the regular mask with the little rubber band on the back. That was a homemade mask. Hey, shout out to all of the subscribers and members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. I am Reese Waters, and this is Street Politics. Now, I don't find myself often in this situation, Maga, or ever. This is actually a first since the Maga movement. I gotta give y'all some credit. Yeah, that's right. I gotta give y'all some credit, because I'm gonna be honest. When this thing, the Jeffrey files and this flap, first hit the fan, I thought y'all were going to cult out. At the end of the day, I thought y'all was going to cult out. But your commitment to seeing this through is unlike any other drive I've ever seen from y'all, other than upholding the patriarchy. When it comes to upholding the patriarchy and pushing hate, that is the only other time I have seen y'all this motivated. Not only are y'all not culting out the way that you normally do. Now, granted, y'all ain't officially left the church. Okay. Y'all ain't finally left the church, but you at least looking sideways at some of the deacons and wondering why the pastor just got himself a new jet. I said, open the book, open your Bibles to the book of Revelation, where the Bible predicted that Christians would follow a false prophet and that they would wear his mark on their foreheads. But my version also says a flag in their yards. Yeah, and it also leaves some room for the stars and bars in there too. Yeah, that would happen. All right, now this all started. Is that Elmo? I've never seen Elmo to act like that. He must have been hacked. That ain't Elmo. No, because he didn't even use the letter of the day or nothing. Hey, y'all check on Abby Cadabby while y'all at it.
By the way, I scanned your food and it comes to $1 gazillion. Emily has a T-Rex and a Go Fish card.
I knew something was different when I saw this headline. Inside Dan Bongino's tense meeting with White House officials over Jeffrey fallout. And in this article, you get FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino was outraged this week during a closed-door White House meeting about the Department of Justice's review of Jeffrey's case files, according to multiple sources. Bongino raised his voice during a discussion with White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles before storming out of the meeting, according to 2 sources close to DOJ leadership. And I can go ahead and suggest those 2 sources connected to DOJ leadership. Susie and Wiles. Okay. Go ahead and run with it. Raised his voice. Really? He raised his voice. He spoke with a disrespectful tone. Are you going to give me with piercing eyes, if eyes could kill? Y'all don't even hide y'all tracks. Hardly at all. But one thing I got to give Maga credit, they weren't going for it. No, they were riding with Bongino. I'm like, okay, they really committed to the drama. They committed. And you know, I'm always here for, let them fight. Let them fight. Let them get it out their system. I am Elon Musk. Yeah, I already know what you tweeted. I gave you credit at the time. You got things you got to worry. Go get your racist AI chatbot. Yeah, I think he just insulted Africans.
I am become meme.
Now, this is the situation on the ground. Republicans are melting down in real time. The same folks who voted for Trump 3 times, knocked doors, donated, and built the machine are now sobbing online because they don't recognize the man they made king, which is absurd. I mean, he didn't even give you a Party City mask. He didn't even give you like the regular mask with the little rubber band on the back. That was a homemade mask. That was a homemade. They didn't even try. That was last minute. We forgot tomorrow was Halloween mask and y'all went for it. That is
Nasty, egregious work.
They're threatening to leave X for Truth Social. Why? Because Elon dared to ask about the Jeffrey files. Because the mask is slipping. Because the most transparent administration in history is suddenly allergic to transparency. And now the base is revolting. You can feel the fracture. One side demands answers. The other side demands silence. The MAGA machine is finally choking on its own fumes. And here you go. This clip. I voted for this man 3 times. I campaigned for him. I worked my ass off, and I feel like I do not recognize him at all. This is sickening. She just needed a hobby. She just needed a hobby. See, that is the problem. What they say, idle hands is the devil's workshop. That's what they say. She had all that time on her hands, and she went campaigning for Trump. She could have been crocheting mad sweaters. You know, she could have covered the entire neighborhood. Instead, she out here promoting hate. You know, that's what happens. You mean you don't recognize this guy right here? Real Donald Trump, stop talking about Epstein. Oh yeah, that'll do it. That'll definitely do it. You can tell that either his wives or nannies raised those kids. Cause ain't no way you gonna tweet in all caps, stop talking about Epstein and think that's going to be effective. You know what I mean? Like, I learned that before my kids was 2. Ain't no don't with period going to be the end. Come on, dog. Come on. Now I see why they said you talk like a 5-year-old. Could you all just focus on the very many other more important things to discuss than whether or not I may or may not be all over the Jeffrey files? You couldn't just say you wasn't in it. You had to say may or may not. There was a big flood in Texas, huge flood as it relates to water. I can't even get through it. I'm not even supposed to be stopping right here. This man said a huge flood as it relates to water.
You can't keep getting away with it.
That is a huge sandwich as it relates to bread.
You can't keep getting away with it.
Many people passed, many beautiful young girls.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Oh, come on. This wasn't Trump. See, y'all got me. Y'all got me. Y'all got me with that one. But see, here's the thing. You don't even need to use the joke post. We got the real thing, and it's just as bad. What's going on with my boys, and in some cases, gals? See, at MAGA women, even he is surprised y'all still rising. He's like, we ain't shaking all them women by now. How sexist we gotta be. Even he is surprised that y'all still around. And they really be the loudest ones on TikTok, if we being honest. What's going on with my boys, in some cases gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey. Okay. Let's start with the positive. He said the talk of the world. That's true. That is true. Okay. That out of the way. He said they have a perfect administration. So those MAGAs that are not sufficiently upset by this, I have told you before about your misuse of the word freedom. Remember that thing that W said they hate our freedom? Apparently MAGA hates our freedom because we are the people that actually have the agency to oppose his administration. Y'all don't. You see what he just said? We have a perfect administration. How do they deal with any defiance or anybody trying to leave the church? Paid rabble rousers. Marxist. Crazy leftists. Pay attention. For years, it's Jeffrey over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who con the world with the Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more? He just went in all the files, didn't he? didn't he? He said 51. I thought he was going to go Area 51. I thought he was going to blame aliens. Yeah, I thought, why you didn't put the aliens? And you could have put Lee Harvey Oswald in there. And you could have talked about Watergate. I mean, come on. That was, if you're going to use it, then use it. You could have put Ted Cruz's father in there. I'm surprised he didn't use the contestants he didn't like from The Apprentice. Huh? Oh, Omarosa was in there? Oh, it was too many characters. They created the Jeffrey files just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton, Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me. And now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Jeffrey files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? Let's cycle. Okay. So how is it that Trump responds when there is a judicial ruling that does not go his way? It is a conspiracy and it is a witch hunt. Anything that does not go his way is a conspiracy and a witch hunt, radical leftists, all that kind of thing. Now, this is a file that he has in his hands that he could release. But he wants to point the fingers at them because they had their hands on the file. Even Obama. When did Obama leave office? Yeah. Okay. All right. He wants to point the fingers at them because they had their hands on the file. So therefore, any time that it was not created from his administration, he has some deniability about the authenticity of said thing, which then insulates him from being accountable for anything ever at any time. That's what he's trying to sell you. That is what he is trying. He thinks you are so stupid that you will swallow this. And I'm going to be honest. That was a bar that some couldn't clear. Yeah, that was a bar that some couldn't clear. Y'all remember Alex Jones was crying in his car? Y'all remember that?
By coming in and being part of the cover-up, the Trump administration has become part of it. I mean, it's just, you cannot see it any other way. So I just got to the office. I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically going to puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. It's because I have integrity. And, I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country, and they're doing so much good. And then for them to do something like this tears my guts out.
Now, first of all, I need to apologize to those of you that watched my first video where I used that clip, because I ran it in full of him crying in his car and did not include the requisite.
He gonna cry in the car.
And I apologize for the fact that clearly you had Alex Jones and didn't preface it with,
he gonna cry in the car.
Well, here's what he's talking about now.
If they were going to use the blackmail file, they would just shut up about it and then say they were investigating and slow roll it. Instead, we've got it. It's going to come out. Not just Bondi, all of them. That's loading the gun, putting it in the deep state's head, saying, we'll do it. We'll do it. We've sent it to the FBI offices around the country. We'll do it. And then they come back and say, fine, we'll stop our attacks on you. We'll roll over. We'll get out of the way of your project to relaunch America and all the great things you're doing. But you got to come out and say it's closed and it's over so that you're tied to it so that you can't ever stab us in the back. And then this is what you get. That's how this stuff works. And that's what I believe has gone on. And I wasn't sure of it yesterday, though my gut was. And now I know it. And it makes me feel sick.
And he wasn't the only one. I believe Cat Turd was double down on this as well. And I would look for Charlie Kirk after that phone call that he got from Trump to also push it. Pay attention to the people that are still trying to push this. So if I got this straight, he is using it as leverage to keep the deep state at bay instead of releasing the thing that would indict the deep state and, keep them at bay because they would be prosecuted. He wants to keep it. So the thing that was used as blackmail, you want to use as blackmail as president on the unnamed deep state, who you could take down if you just released it and you wasn't in it. They haven't even given up on the John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr. files, no matter how much success we've had, securing the border, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons. It's never enough for some people. Oh, okay. So I guess there's a point where you get that for free. You get to be in the Jeffrey files for free. I wasn't aware. It would make sense that you would think that way. That tracks. That absolutely tracks. Talking about Obama. I can't imagine how much they're going to laugh at this when they see it. Yeah, Hillary and Obama. Obama was talking about change we can believe in. You don't pay your bills. Y'all not the same. We're about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has achieved in over 100 years. Wow. That's the kind of math that makes a man say he's done more for black people than anybody since Lincoln. And we have so much more to do. We are saving our country and making America great again. We will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding. Oh, the left is imploding. Are you the left? Are you the left? I mean, I could understand, but given the damage that you have wreaked throughout classic conservatism, fiscal responsibility and, not involving yourself in outside wars, all that kind of stuff. I get how much you have destroyed the classic Republican. And in that way, you might be the left. But you started this whole thing talking about people from your movement that have turncoated, and you have already turned it to the left is imploding. That's how he thinks y'all have the same attention span that he has, which I would imagine would be the case. Why would you think that anybody else has a greater attention span? Because you can't pay attention long enough to notice that they haven't changed the subject. The left is imploding. Kash Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, naturally, the rigged and stolen election of 2020, and arresting thugs and criminals instead of spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey. First of all, I'm just going to leave the thugs and criminals on the side. I'm not even here for that when you pardon the J6ers. I'm just going to leave that on the side. I'm here for this part. Okay. Did you say stop talking about Jeffrey and then bring up the 2020 election? You said, why are we still talking about Jeffrey? And then brought up the 2020 election. In 2025, while you are president, why are you asking me where I was last week? You always bringing up old stuff. Besides, you remember what you used to do back in the 80s. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen, and they tried to do the same thing in 2024. That's what she's looking into as AG and much more. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey, somebody that nobody cares about. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, again, let me start with the positive. He did say that we were the hottest country in the world. That is true. That is, as you can see, You know what I mean? You can see the shine starting to formulate on my head, and it's nighttime. So I believe that we might be the hottest country in the world. As far as somebody that nobody cares about, hey, Maga, he just called y'all nobody. Right there on True Social. He just called y'all nobody. Because clearly y'all care. Now you see exactly what you mean. And it's actually that kind of open defiance and open degradation that he put there towards his own base. He insulted his own base with that post so aggressively. And it's the kind of thing that has worked in the past. You know, he's pointing the finger at everything from a 20. I'm surprised he didn't bring up Rosie O'Donnell. Oh, he did?
You know, the Epstein files debacle for Trump is getting bad when he's decided to launch an attack threatening Rosie O'Donnell's citizenship. And let's be clear, that's exactly why he's doing this, as a distraction, because he can't do that. And also people would lose their minds if he did it, but he's just trying to distract so people don't see that they didn't actually release the Epstein stuff like they promised to. And it kind of seems like they lied about it, because the video that they released, and this is not a conspiracy, this has been confirmed by multiple serious people, the video that they released was missing some footage. But also let's not forget that, like, they said they had the Epstein list. Pam Bondi said it was on her desk, and now all of his, like, MAGA minions in the administration are fighting over it, and it's one big mess, which is why exactly he launched this broadside against one of his favorite targets in his entire life, Rosie O'Donnell, who, you know, doesn't have a lot of cultural relevance anymore. I think I saw her in an episode of Hacks, maybe. I think I saw her in one of those, but otherwise, like, really not. He's just going back to play the hits because he knows this Epstein thing is actually a big problem for him. He promised results on that, and then he turned around and did the opposite, to the point where MAGA's actually starting to see how we feel every time he says something, it does the opposite, which is just lying to us. I don't think they're going to fully get there, but this is a big problem for him, and that's why he's doing this insane shit today. Don't fall down the trap. I keep pointing out the fact that he didn't do the things on the Epstein list that he said, because he's on it.
Because of the fact that Rosie O'Donnell is not in the best interest of our country, I'm giving serious consideration to taking away her citizenship. She's a threat to humanity and should remain in the wonderful country of Ireland if they want her. God bless America. So MAGA, not only did he call y'all nobody, not only did he insulate himself from being ever held accountable for anything ever, because they're just crazy radical left lunatics who are out to get him. And now that to see how he operates now, you think that might have been his playbook all of last year, where he convinced y'all that 4 decades of prosecutions were politically motivated, even those from before he even entered politics. Yeah. I'm not here for that. But now what he's doing is threatening the citizenship of people who are not in the best interest of the country. So I wonder how that sits with people who oppose the lack of transparency with this issue. Not only should you be mad, you should double down. Well, guess what? And that's why I opened the way that I did. MAGA came through. These replies are savage. Mr. President, we were promised everything was going to get exposed and the deep state thugs were going to get exposed. Respectfully release the files. Transparency or complicity? No, Mr. President. Sorry, MAGA doesn't agree with you on this Bondi situation. F you, release the files, you traitor. Read the room. Donald Trump campaigned on full transparency and Pam Bondi needs to deliver full transparency or be fired. Sorry, this is not holding water. Girls were used by this man and many other men. They need to pay the price. This will be bigger than your problems with the mRNA jabs if the transparency we were promised isn't fulfilled. Period. Donald Trump, you are completely out of touch. That's a devil's bargain you just communicated there. We can't sell some of our souls. Pam Bondi is terrible and Susie Wiles is an R swamp creature. It got so bad, they ratioed this man on his own platform. There you can see over 40,000 comments versus just under 12,000 retweets and 35,000 likes. And I'm sure it's way more than that now. I say I'm sure because I will not be going to Truth Social to check. That would require me getting that app. And that is perhaps the second thing that I agreed with Elon Musk on. The first, when he said he was in the Jeffrey files, and the second, when he asked what is Truth Social. That was solid. I wonder if this video is on Truth Social.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah, Donald, we are still talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Why? Maybe it's because Epstein said he was your closest friend.
That was closest friend.
Or that you repeatedly flew on Epstein's private jet. Or that you called Jeffrey Epstein a terrific guy who likes beautiful women as much as I do. And many of them are on the younger side. Or that your Secretary of Labor was the prosecutor who let Epstein avoid federal trafficking charges. Or that when Epstein's co-conspirator was arrested for facilitating the sexual abuse of minors, you said that
I just wish her well.
Or that Elon Musk, your biggest donor and White House senior advisor, said you were in the Epstein files. Or that your attorney general said,
breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released. A lot of names, a lot of information.
Or that your FBI director said,
on day one, roll out the black book.
This doesn't look right. It doesn't look like a suicide.
Or that your deputy director of the FBI said,
that Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. These assets, that's why this blackmail story makes so much sense.
So Donald, the reason everyone is still talking about Jeffrey Epstein is because Americans want answers.
Oh, they're not done. Yesterday he told you the Epstein files don't exist. Today he told you Obama wrote them. I mean, see, this is why you can't have yes men around you all the time, because iron sharpens iron. You should know better than to come with a different excuse, completely different than your original. Now we know, you know what I mean? Like now, I was at work yesterday. Yeah, I was at work all day from 9 to 5. So that couldn't have been me. Plus, my dad was sick and I had to go cross town to go take care of him. I left at 10 o'clock in the morning and I was there till 8 at night. So again, that couldn't have been me for any one of those two reasons. Nick, this what you got. This what, and you can't lie better than that. Oh, the MAGAs are wildin'. This is the top comment. We want the elite PDFs exposed. You promised us that. Pam promised us that. Cash promised us that. Now it's our fault because we want that promise fulfilled and call Pam out every time she lies. What else has she lied about? That's the risk you run. That's the risk you run. Because if you're going to feed us that, now your minds get to wondering, don't they? People are going to start pulling up old stuff. And Trump, that is not what you wanted. Miss USA coming up. This is going to cost you so many supporters. I being one of them. I've been to multiple rallies and was even there on J6. This man done lost a J6er. This man, and it's not MAGA Granny. It's not MAGA Granny. You know, the lesson here is how you lose them. How you get them is how you lose them. How you get them is how you got them with nonsense. You lose them with nonsense. That's exactly it. This is so instructive. This is so very instructive. You got excuses that don't go together. And now you have painted this idea of distrust in our institutions. And exactly what is the Trump administration at this particular point in time? You have made sure to take over every institution. So guess who that distrust lands on the feet of? Oh, you love to see it. You know, you love it. Is that a MAGA hat?
They telling me get off of Twitter. I voted for Trump, not Biden. Those some niggas that went to that island. Why the fuck would you go to that island?
Oh, the roast is on now. The roast is on, and I don't mean the roast of that Maga hat. I mean they coming with the memes. Oh, they got billboards? They got cartoons? They done dragged up childhood photos? Next thing you know, they gonna have a capture. They gonna have a whole capture. Oh, they already got a select the square? All about Trump? Now, in the light of all of this, as something that I'm sure you understand and believe as a viewer of this particular channel, there's a lot of other nasty stuff going on to be concerned about. As I think one of my theses, as my main thesis in my last video about this, was how the litany of offenses that we have seen from Trump and his administration, this happens to be the thing that really cracks MAGA. It just boggles the mind. But in light of that, here's Joe Walsh. I don't give a F about this Jeffrey stuff. Let Bongo, Bongino, Bannon, and all the rest eat each other. And if this causes Trump's base to finally see that Trump is a lying POS, swell. Focus on what matters. Immigrants right now are piled on top of each other in cages in a concentration camp in the Florida Everglades. They're drinking water from toilets. This is happening right now in this country. It's cruel, inhumane, and un-American. And Trump and every Republican should lose in 2026 because of this. And it's up to us to make that happen. I don't disagree with you completely, but these two things are not mutually exclusive, because we were very loud in opposition to things like Alligator Alcatraz, a litany of other things when they happened, but did not have the power to stop it clearly. So that whole first part about the fracture of MAGA and the devastation of this base that has kept these people in power, oh, that is very much of interest. Not to mention the fact, let them fight. No, I told you. How you got here is crazy. How you got here is crazy. But I'm here for the revolution and the drama. Thank you so much for watching the video. Sending love out to all of the subscribers and members, and a special shout out to all those that came out to the 500K live celebration, as well as the Tuesday special viewers edition of the Tuesday Night Live.
You got on drawers. Like, what? You got on drawers. Chaps doesn't make it not drawers.
Now, I mentioned it was a special viewers edition because one thing I've noticed, we have so much talent in this community. So many people with so many amazing thoughts, so many people with so many amazing achievements, organizational skills. You guys are doing some incredible things. So if you're working on a project, you're working on something, you're working with a group you think might be of interest to the community, I would love to highlight you on my live. Every few weeks, I'm going to dedicate the live to that. So if you're interested in being highlighted, send me a note at admin@reesewaters.com. By the way, did you guys happen to get the last newsletter? Because, oh yeah, we are cooking over there. We talked all about what's going on with Essence Fest, as well as the Fox News meltdown on woke Superman. You know, some of those bylines by Clark Kent were kind of CRT. Now that I think about it, they were kind of CRT. And we ended on a positive with Ironheart finally being certified fresh. You know, like I was back in the 90s. Yeah, I was a wild boy. You know what I mean? I was a wild boy. We put out the newsletter every single week. If you want to sign up for it, you can do it over at my Patreon, patreon.com/Reese Waters. It's available in the deep water and troubled water tiers. We also have a free monthly newsletter that we put out. You sign up at the same place. You can get a free account and you can get our monthly newsletter right there.
Finger licking good special. That's what I'm talking about.
Speaking of monthly, I need to pay that electricity bill. Yeah, it ain't no joke. Ever since we've been running this AC on high all winter, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Hopefully my wife don't see this.